everyone, and welcome to Kernel of Wisdom. I'm Joelle, and today I'm going to share some techniques on how to listen more mindfully. Do you want to become a better listener? Perhaps enhance your relationships or feel more comfortable socially? Mindful listening can really help, and here's a few techniques on how to do it. The first is to shut up and only listen. One of the biggest challenges to listening mindfully is that we're constantly thinking of what we're going to say back. So you start by making a point of not speaking. So the same way that we shift our attention to focus on our breath in meditation, we just shift our attention to focusing on only listening. And because you listen so well, you can trust that once they're done, something will naturally come up to say. Now, this might mean that your conversations happen at a pace that's a little slower than you're used to, but it works out just fine. Most people don't care if you have a lot to say back. They just want to be able to talk things out so they can sort it out for themselves. And if they do want your thoughts or opinions, then they'll be fine to give you the time and space to form them. Also, just to be clear, fully listening implies that you put your cell phone or any other distractions away. Multitasking does not work, and listening takes all of your concentration. Step 2 is to attune to the other person. To become attuned to another person means that you're becoming receptive and aware of their true being. To do this, start by allowing yourself to just look into the other person's eyes and become aware of how that makes you feel. If they seem uncomfortable with the eye contact, be gentle and look away every once in a while. Don't stare too hard. If it makes you feel uncomfortable, perhaps start by actually just focusing on their breath, focusing on the rise and fall of their body as they breathe. Either way, attunement helps you connect more deeply with the other person. It allows you to feel the other person while enhancing your empathy and compassion. 3 is to listen with more than just your hearing. Once you're comfortable fully concentrating on what the other person is saying and attuning to them, you can try checking in with anything else that you're noticing every once in a while. Tone, facial expressions, gestures, body language, it all conveys a lot of information without you having to put your full concentration on it. So every once in a while, just check in and see if you notice anything that's going on in any of these other areas of expression. 4 is to notice what you notice in your body. This is probably the trickiest part of mindful listening because it brings our attention back to us again. Make sure you spend just a few breaths noticing it, and then return to fully concentrating on what the other person is saying. To do this, do a quick body scan. Is there anything that you feel that wasn't there before the conversation? Any feelings that don't feel typical of you that are coming up in your body right now? Is there anything you are noticing that triggered you, feelings that you are used to feeling? Whatever you're feeling, try to just notice it and acknowledge it. Acknowledging whether you think it's you that you're feeling or whether that's something that's coming from them. Or just give it a label of expression, like sad, angry, frustrated, nervous, or you can even simply just put a hand over wherever you're feeling the sensation in your body. 5th and finally, when they are done, take a few moments to summarize and reflect. When someone is fully done speaking, without planning it or anticipating it, just noticing that they seem to be absolutely complete and have nothing else to say, it's a great time to show that you heard them by giving a small summary or reflection. For a summary, you're just pulling out some of the more poignant points that you noticed in what they had to say. And for a reflection, you're simply stating back a feeling that you noticed they might have. So if I was summarizing, I might say something like, all right, if I'm hearing you correctly, it sounds like your boss has really been agitated lately and it's making you uncertain about whether you even want to be there. Or if I was reflecting, I might say something like, it sounds like the situation's making you feel really anxious. Both statements allow them to feel heard, but it also allows the other person to move deeper into their own sense of reflection, to understanding what they are thinking and feeling and experiencing. And that even further deepens your connection with them. And finally, do not be afraid to point out things they may not have noticed themselves. For example, you might say something like, you know, as you were talking about that situation, even my stomach started to tense up and feel nervous. Do you often feel that? Or you could say something like, I noticed you kept looking down as you spoke about that. It seems like it's something really difficult to talk about. Well, I hope these tips have helped you feel like you are better equipped to be a mindful listener. But overall, make sure you pay attention to when it feels like it's time to speak and when it feels like it's time to listen. And if it's time to listen, only listen. Otherwise, if you have any comments or questions, you can post them in the comment box below or shoot me a note. Do not forget to subscribe for more videos from Kernel of Wisdom. Have a great day and happy meditating. Bye.